Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So, as you can see from the title, we are back today with the final bits of the Love is Blind season 10 review. For this episode, we are going to be reviewing episodes 10 to 12. So first we're going to get into, again, just to preface guys, this is going to be me. I literally make these notes as I'm watching the show in chronological order. So I'm not going to be breaking down each couple, whether some people will be mentioned, other people I won't say anything on because I just didn't have any thoughts, so I had no commentary. So first off, I want to talk about the aftermath because I think the start of episode 10 was still when they were all at that bowling alley having like the little reunion party. And in Chris and Bree's conversation, I just thought it was so cringy the way that Chris was trying to flirt with her, and you have Bree here who's eating up this poo-poo platter man. And I just thought that it was so cringe when he called her baby. Like, it was just weird. Like, it was corny. Like, it was very corny. And I'm just like, Bree, are we being serious? Like, I'm actually being serious. You're really moving for this. You're actually moving for this. And basically, throughout this conversation, I guess Bree is kind of trying to temperature check Charlie. I was going to say Charlie. Chris, to see kind of what his intentions are, which I don't even know why she needs to do that, because is it not clear that the man doesn't really take you seriously? Like, he's not looking for anything serious from you. Like, do you know what I mean? He's not been serious about the person who he literally proposed to. He played in her face, so now he's supposed to miraculously become some sort of, I don't know, stand-up guy for you. So I was very confused, but basically Bree was trying to temperature check and see if Chris like what his intentions would be if they were together. And he essentially said that he just wanted to be friends with benefits with her, or like have some sort of casual relationship with her. It was literally like just an egg on your face moment for Brie, like literally egg on your face, because she was really here thinking that like, oh, he thinks that I'm the one who got away or something. No, he doesn't see you as that at all. He sees you as a conquest. He sees you as an easy target. He knows that you will fall for his gimmick and whatever he is that he's doing. He knows that you're available to play his game. So he's coming to you, giving you these little seeds or like crumbs basically, and you're like, oh, so like if we were together, like what would that constitute? And then he basically just says, yeah, like kind of would just be like fuck buddies with you, you know. And Brie, like her face, she just looked like disappointed, and I'm just like, you're really disappointed right now? Like, you're actually disappointed. You're shocked that he said this. No one is shocked. I was watching it, I'm like, who is actually shocked? If he cannot even commit to his fiance, what makes you think that he's gonna somehow be able to commit to you? Next, I want to talk about the next scene, which was a scene where Alex, what's the name of the woman that he was with? Ashley, and then Priyanka, who is someone who was part of their experiment, but she didn't get engaged or anything. So basically all three of them are having a conversation, and they're kind of discussing Alex's ex, or one of his exes, because you know Alex, he has bare exes. He, you know, all these elaborate stories and whatever, and it's just always something with him, right? So now they're trying to break down this one ex that he has and the timeline, because Ashley started to realize that like there's some inconsistencies with his story, or like there's overlap in some of the dates that he says applied for the show, or like when he got reached out to, and then when he ended his relationship or whatever with his ex. And like she just thought it was weird. And basically, for extra context, Priyanka and Alex actually know each other outside of the show. Like, I can't remember if she said that they used to be in the same friendship group, or like they've just got some mutual friends in between them. But basically Priyanka knows Alex, or Alex, they know each other outside of the experiment, but I guess when they were doing the experiment they didn't know that either of them were in the show. And basically Priyanka's telling Ashley during this conversation that she was under the impression that Alex's ex was like because I think Alex has said that like she had like some sort of like I can't remember what it is that what he said, or like she basically that she had like some sort of trip or something that she needed to do that was work related, and at the time Alex was staying with her during this time period. That doesn't really make sense. Why are you staying living with your ex? Like, anyways, but yeah, he was saying that, oh, I was just living with her at the time, but like we weren't together, but like I was still living with her and she was off at work or whatever. But basically the way Priyanka was retelling the story to Ashley, she was under the impression that his ex that he was staying with was not in town while she was working or doing this trip, right? While he was staying in her house. But actually, come to find out, she was apparently in the house. So they were like living there together, like basically cohabitating. Ashley's obviously side eyeing this, being like, "That's weird because you told me that like she just let you stay at her place while she was gone, but now it's actually, oh well, no, she did have something to do, but she was also still in town." Do you know what I mean? Like just the backtracking and whatever, and then Alex's reaction to it was really weird because he got blatantly caught in a lie, because at this point it's 2 against 1. They're both saying, hey, we don't feel like your story's really adding up, like you're kind of chatting shit. And then he's just there kind of like, oh, I feel like you lot are attacking me now, like I'm being ganged up on, like you guys are coming for me. And it was just so weird. And then he all of a sudden had a lot of energy towards Priyanka, and he essentially was like to Priyanka, what did he actually say? He was like, oh, why are you, I don't know why you're even here. And I thought that that was so weird because when she initially came into the conversation, right, he was like, seemed pretty like happy, fine to talk to her. You were enjoying the conversation. But as soon as now she gives her 2 pence, or you know, because she was actually there or knew you at the time or had extra information or context that Ashley didn't, and she now gives her point of view, and all of a sudden it's a problem. Like, so now you hate her because she is telling the truth, or at least what you told her or what you were telling people what the story was at the time. Now that you switched the story, now you're now on her ass. Like, it was just very weird. He was like, oh, I don't even know why you're here. And I'm just like, what's his problem? And his entire demeanor changed, guys. Like, seriously, he was so like, I don't even know what kind of energy came over him. I remember I was watching it with my sister and I was just like, his demeanor like is so nasty. Like the way he just flipped that switch. I was like, what is wrong with this guy? Like the way he got so like angry. Like he was so angry, so like, I don't even know. It looked like he wanted to like spit on her, honestly. Like he looked so annoyed, and like the way he was looking at her with so much contempt, I was like, yeah, he's a weirdo. He's actually a weirdo. In my opinion in general of Alex, I just feel like this guy is a homosexual. He's a homosexual who lives off of flings and past situationships, or exes as he calls them, whatever, and basically lives off of them. Is it just, honestly, he's just using people for convenience. You know, like them people who kind of just hop from relationship to relationship, or they always have like a roster or somebody on standby because like they just need somebody. Like that person is basically just like their plan B in case like, you know, the original story doesn't come to fruition for them. And I feel like that's literally Alex. Like these people who he used to date or whatever, they don't even know that like you're literally just being put on like standby. Like you lot are all on a conveyor belt and he just picks whichever one he needs for the time being, and then he'll put you back on, and it's just a continuous cycle. You're just going in circles, like kind of like you know, like a spin the wheel where like you wait until the picker picks your name. That's kind of what like Alex and all his exes give. Like you're waiting for him to pick you so that you can be of convenience to him. Then he'll put you back on and keep spinning it. Like, that's what it gives. Like, there's no intention, nothing. Like, Chris decides to go up to Jessica and he like says, hey, how you doing? Jessica, the demure babe that she is, very sweet, respectful, she allows him to give her a hug, whatever. She's like, yeah, I'm good, how are you, da da da. And then he basically suggests that they should go and have a conversation like privately, like off to the side. So they go to like this little area to go sit down at like 2 of these couches, and basically they're having a conversation, and the conversation itself wasn't like anything crazy. Like it was kind of just Chris going in circles, really, almost like he was kind of trying to temperature check her again to see if there would be potential for her to, like, I don't know, try to display signs of low self-esteem, or try and somehow signal to him that, I don't know, maybe she like feels a way about what he said. I don't know. Like to me it kind of gave that like he was looking for a certain kind of reaction, or for her to say something, and then once he realized he wasn't going to get that, he kind of just got bored with the conversation. Like I don't know, they are having this conversation, and at the beginning I thought it was so weird how Alex was looking at Jessica, and like he kept smiling, like he just kept smiling and like grinning while looking at her, but it's not like the kind of smile where it's like you're looking at someone because like you're looking at them with like admiration, or because of how fond you are of them. Not anything like that. It was like smiling almost like, I don't know, it kind of like, to me I read it as like he thinks that there's like, he's like in a movie or something, this delusional idea that you guys are in some will they won't they some kind of situation. I was just very confused. Like the way he was smiling at her was just so corny to me. And then now let's get to after the mixer, because the next scene that happens, or the one that I wanted to talk about, I made notes about, was when Ashley and Alex return to their apartment, and they're sitting on the couch, and Ashley looks like visibly like upset, whatever, right? She can see that Alex is not being very truthful or forthcoming, and is kind of causing a drift or rift in their relationship. And in the beginning, she tries to kind of start that conversation, but then Alex just ends up completely deflecting it. And he keeps just reiterating this point of, oh, I feel like you guys are ganging up on me. I feel like you can't trust me, da da da. Kind of like guilt tripping her into thinking that she doesn't need to question him at all, which is just ridiculous because yes, you guys are engaged, you're my fiance, whatever, but I still don't know you. Like, I still don't know you fully. For you to insinuate that me asking questions about your past is like me trying to interrogate you or whatever is just ridiculous. Like, especially as a man as well. Like, I'm so sorry. In this day and age, like, if you think that any woman is about to just go into some situation blind with a guy, especially one that she's getting married to, I think that it's not important to ask any questions whatsoever, or to make sure that she knows what the story is that you at least want to tell her, right? If you think that that's not important, like, I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to tell you. Like, you are too grown to be moving mysterious. Like, you're too grown to be moving mysterious. There's nothing mysterious and nonchalant about coming onto a global dating show on Netflix to find your wife. Like, please, enough, okay? We can ask questions. If you're not ready to answer them, the door is that way. It's just that simple. And after this conversation, right, Ashley basically gets, I don't want to say bullied, but like kind of is pushed to stop talking about it or bringing it up because it's bringing Alex distress. So then Alex segues into them ordering McDonald's, and he asks her, oh, what do you want, whatever. And Ashley just kind of starts like smiling because he's like trying to crack jokes and whatever. Oh, I'll get you McDonald's, do you want the nuggets, da da. And I'm just like, Ashley, really? I mean, I'm not expecting you to break up with him. Actually, no, that's a lie. I am expecting.
Don't laugh. You can't laugh.
I am expecting you to do that. Maybe it's a delusional expectation because considering your past and your character, but I'm sorry, why are we still continuing this? Why are we still going? You know you know where this is going. You know this is not going to lead to anything good, and yet she's still smiling like giddy. Like, at this point, I'm fully convinced that Ashley is only there because she's horny and she's attracted to this man, because I just don't understand what other redeeming qualities it is that he has at this point. Like, he's not consistent. He seems to be a liar also. He gets very irate and uncomfortable when anyone asks him questions about his personal life or his past. Like, it's red flags galore, and she's still here being like, oh, he buys me McDonald's. Like, What? Next, I want to talk about Amber and Jordan, which is a couple that I haven't spoken about in either of the past videos that I've done for this season. I haven't spoken about them at all because I just didn't really have any sort of thoughts on them. I was just kind of like, they're there, kind of like Vic and Christine. I don't have any strong opinions about them. They're just there for me. But in this episode particularly, I had something to say about them because I did not like this conflict or argument. I don't even want to call it an argument because Jordan didn't even really argue with Amber. It was more like Amber to me it is given very much fearful avoidant because the way like her reaction to this thing that Jordan said, basically for context, Jordan was at the mixer at the bowling alley and basically he was speaking to Connor, a few of the other men that were there, right? And he was basically expressing how, he was going to meet Amber's daughter soon and how he feels like there's a lot of weight and, he's taking it very seriously. And, he just has like some reservations about not wanting to dismiss like how important it is, right? That this woman has a child and, I'm going to be coming into this child's life if we get married and all of that. Basically, like him just acknowledging that like this isn't just some like, little YOLO kind of thing, right? Like it wasn't disparaging to Amber at all, not at all. Like he didn't say anything disparaging towards her or about her daughter. But I guess for some reason, Amber felt like he hadn't expressed this type of concern to her before, which maybe she's right about that, I don't know, but I can't reference it right now. But I feel like there was at least one point where Jordan brought up the fact that like, the whole dating a mother thing and all of that is new to him. It's not something that he's experienced before. It wasn't something that he was really thinking about going into the show. He wasn't expecting to match with somebody who has a child, right? Like that wasn't something that he saw coming. So I feel like I get what Amber means to a certain extent where, you could have expressed these concerns to me first instead of me having to hear it in my earshot in front of other people. But at the same time, I don't think that it's crazy for somebody who has never dated somebody with a kid, let alone married somebody with a child, right, to acknowledge how much of a complicated decision that is, right? Like it's not just a simple yes or no. Like there's way more things to consider here, right? Like that's kind of the impression that I got from what Jordan was saying. But I guess for Amber that, I guess she just took it as some form of disrespect. And her reaction to this just wasn't very good. Like that's why I say it gives fearful avoidant because it's this one thing that he did, right, which honestly to me didn't even seem severe enough for her reaction, and I didn't even see as a negative thing, honestly. Maybe just one thing that like you could have a reservation about, but it's not necessarily a negative or like deal breaker. But basically she just didn't have a good reaction to it. She immediately like went into shutdown mode, did not want to speak to him for the rest of the night. Once they got home, she immediately went into bed, and when Jordan went to go check up on her and say like, hey, how are you doing, like, do you want to speak to me or do you want me to leave you alone, she just wasn't responding at all. And I'm gonna be honest, I really do not like people who do stuff like this. Like, I'm just gonna be honest, because when I was watching it I was just like, this is so immature. Like this is so immature, especially as somebody who has a child, to be acting like that. Like I'm sorry, I hope that your daughter, like that's not what you're doing when your daughter like overstimulates you or like does something that irritates you, right? Like you're just giving her silent treatment. Like, do you know what I mean? I just don't like people who do stuff like that, like the silent treatment or whatever. Like even whether you're doing it like as a thing to hurt the other person or it's just because you shut down and you don't want to talk at all, like you just mentally and emotionally shut down once somebody makes you feel unsafe. I just don't like that because you need to, especially if you're going to get married, you need to be able to communicate. Like, I'm so sorry. That's an important thing that you need in order to have a healthy relationship, is being able to communicate and have difficult conversations sometimes and communicate and talk about your feelings. Like, if somebody does something that upsets you, you don't like that, you need to say it. Like, I'm sorry, you need to say it. And the thing is as well, because somebody might say this and be like, oh, maybe she just wasn't ready to talk. She doesn't have to have a conversation. I completely agree. You don't have to have a conversation immediately after it happens. She could have just simply said to him, yeah, I just need a bit of time to decompress. I want to sleep on it. And then we can have a conversation about it tomorrow morning or in the afternoon. That's completely fine. But don't leave the person in the dark, especially this being your fiance as well. Like, you guys live under the same roof and it's been like, what, 12 hours and you haven't said anything to each other the whole day? Like, that's crazy. Like, I'm sorry, I cannot live like, I can't live like that. I can't be in an environment like that. Like, it just feels very toxic. Like, I don't know. It just feels unhealthy. Like, no, like, I'm sorry, we're too grown for this. Like, if you got a problem with me, let's speak about it. Let's understand where you're coming from. Let's understand where I'm coming from and reach a mutual understanding so that we can move forward. Like, do you know what I mean? But I feel like she just wasn't doing that and it gave immaturity. So I really didn't like the way she handled that. And then basically, I think it was in the morning or the afternoon that Amber comes back into the apartment and Jordan is sitting in the kitchen waiting for her, like sitting down like at the counter. And Amber walks in and she kind of just walks in. I think Jordan tried to like hug her, like greet her, whatever. She didn't really say anything or acknowledge him, which again, I thought was very immature, especially considering what actually happened. Like, I'm sorry. He like it wasn't like some blatant offense that he did towards you. So like that kind of reaction is just unfair in my opinion. But basically she then sits down like after getting good because she tells him I need a drink. So she pours a drink for herself and then they're having a conversation and Amber basically just goes into this tangent where she's just talking about how her past experiences with men and dating and how men just play about, they waste her time, they say they're gonna do things and then they don't. Like just basically how she just doesn't feel like she can trust men, which I'm not gonna villainize her for again because I mean, like, considering this type of society that we're living in now, like 2026, the dating streets, like, it's treacherous. Like, it is. Like, I can speak from experience. Like, I'm sorry. I don't blame any woman who's like, I just don't trust these men at all. I don't trust them all at all because, it's just always gone left. I completely understand that. But, I feel like if you, in the moment when you lot were in the pods, felt strongly enough to where you can see a future of this person, you feel like there's somebody that you can build a life with, you can marry, you can get engaged to, I feel like it is the least you can do to at least try to trust them or give them the chance to earn your trust. I feel like already going in with this idea that I'm not going to trust you doesn't set you up for success. And I'm saying that on the woman's part and also the man's part. You're not going to be able to build real intimacy with him, and then also you're going to harm yourself in the relationship because you're not going to feel fulfilled. And that is why I personally think that I'm not sure if Amber is actually ready to be in a marriage or a relationship because I feel like that whole conversation and kind of how she reacted to that displays that she has a lot of past hurt that she probably hasn't worked through. That's just my personal opinion because I feel like somebody who is healed, who has kind of recovered from that, would have approached that situation very differently. That's just my opinion. Again, I am not a psychologist, I'm not a mental health professional. I could be chatting absolute crap right now, but I'm just saying that's my opinion on that. Like, I don't know. I don't know what else to tell you. That's just my opinion. I want to talk about Brie and Connor because they have like this little date on the train. Connor takes Brie onto like this train and they have a little like lunch or brunch, whatever, and they're having a conversation. And I feel like Brie and Connor in general, I a lot of these couples I've never warmed up to. Like, I don't think there's a single couple from this season that I warmed up to, but Brie and Connor especially, I never warmed up to them, never. And this conversation cemented it to me why I never warmed up to them, because the way Brie talks about their relationship in this scene is so weird. It is so weird. I remember when I was watching with my sister, I just turned to my sister and I was like, why does she just keep talking about herself?
Don't laugh. You can't laugh.
Like she's just constantly going on about how it's just so crazy that like you love me. Like I know you love me because you're obsessed with me. Like you love me even when I'm horrible to you, and you know I'm treating you like shit at the bottom of my shoe. Like that's basically what she was saying. Yeah, I just know that you definitely like me. You're invested. You're committed because you do all these things. You like me even though I'm giving you crumbs. Like that's basically what it was. She was like applauding him for being a pigeon. Like you're eating up all these breadcrumbs. Good job. It was very strange, and I was just like, this is so self-absorbed. And then I was waiting because as I was watching it, I was like, maybe she's just gonna talk about his side first, and then maybe she'll get to how she feels about him. But she never did. She never did. She didn't bring up her feelings towards him once. And that was for me how I knew that one, they weren't going to get married, but also that a breakup was on the horizon. Because I've always said this, whether you're a man, woman, whatever, if you are in a relationship, getting to know somebody, dating them, whatever, even if you're in a friendship too, if you or the other person, no, actually, if the other person is always talking about how you make them feel, how you show admiration or care or consideration for them or affection towards them, but they never speak about how they feel about you, that person does not like you. Like, I'm so sorry. That person does not like you. That person that you're dating who's constantly talking about how much you make them feel happy and secure, whatever, but they can never tell you how they feel about you. Red flag, red flag. I've always said that any person who cannot tell you how they feel about you, red flag. And Brie, whenever someone asks her about how she feels about Connor, she never describes the things that she says when she's talking about how Connor feels about her. She talks about how much Connor shows her affection, how much he shows up for her, how he affirms her, all these things. Whenever someone asks her about Connor, oh, well, you know, he's not medium ugly, and you know, he has money, he has a headboard. Like, do you even like him? Do you even like him? Because it seems to me like you're trying to pitch him to like, I don't know, to like a job interview or something. Where is the actual like emotional bond here? Because it was absent the entire show. Like genuinely, I was so confused. That's why even when she introduced him to her family, she just kept trying to neg him the entire time. She was talking about, oh, he had a keg in his house. His house, his guest room was messy. Da da da. All of this, all of that. You don't like that guy. Like, I'm so sorry, you don't like him. I'll never be down with that whole humor of like just making fun of your partner because like, oh, that's how I flirt. No, no, because I'm sorry, if that energy of humor, the jokes, whatever, the shade that you're throwing at me, if it's not gonna be the same level, I'm not gonna see the same level of that energy in the affection and love you show me, then it's a chop. And 9 times out of 10, the people who love to neg you and make fun of you and throw shade at you, they're not showing you that equal amount of energy when it comes to something actually positive. When was the last time that they ever complimented you? But you can tell me that yesterday they were telling you how your feet stink. Next, let's talk about Devontae and Brittany, because they have a conversation. I think it was just like in their apartment, whatever. They're talking about the dress fittings, and Devontae basically tells Brittany how he heard that apparently Brittany or somebody in her family had brought up how Devontae doesn't. It's not like within his character to compliment Brittany or tell her how pretty she is or whatever, or just compliment her. And actually, I think it was Brittany who said that. She said it at the dress thing, and she was like, "Yeah, it's just not within his character to do that. But like I'm fine with that. Like I've accepted him for who he is, and I still love him." Which delusional babble. Like I'm so sorry. Like you are a bird flying in the sky. Like I'm so sorry. What are you talking about?
Don't laugh. You can't laugh.
what are you talking about? Like, I was so confused watching it. Anyways, she was saying that at the dress thing, and basically Devontae's complaint about that was just that, oh, I don't like the fact that that's being said in front of a bunch of other people though. Like, I don't like how I'm coming across to other. And I thought that that was very interesting, and he actually said the quiet part out loud when he said that, because that reveals to me that one, Devontae isn't genuine, fork found in kitchen, obviously, but also that he is completely concerned with his image and his reputation, or lack thereof, because I don't know what reputation he's talking about. We don't know you and we don't like you. He's completely concerned about how he's coming across towards other people. Not that your wife feels the oh, sorry, wife, not they weren't married yet. That your fiance was saying that she doesn't feel appreciated enough by you. You don't even care about her feelings or the fact that she felt the need to voice that again. It's the fact that, oh, other people are hearing this about me. Like, Brittany, read between the lines. Like, you need to pay attention to what he's actually saying, because everything he says just keeps showing you that he does not give a fuck about you. He don't care. He doesn't care how you feel. He doesn't care at all. And honestly, Brittany in this conversation was just very delusional. She was basically begging for crumbs from this guy. I feel like Brittany in general is just so desperate to be married, to have that title of being a wife. Like, you know, it's not how there's like some of these women who you can just tell they've had this dream spoon fed to them for so long that they're going to have this, almost like this Cinderella story where there's just gonna be some guy who's gonna find her like Cinderella in the carriage and like sweep off her feet and be the Prince Charming, and he's going to lead her to this beautiful castle where they're gonna live happily ever after. And this is not me saying that there isn't chances for happiness or anything, or that you can't find happiness or you won't find a partner who's going to fulfill you. Like, of course you will. My point is that there's this idealized version, particularly surrounding marriage, where it's just like this idea that if I force it or like try to manufacture it to happen with whoever, it can be this fairy tale, instead of actually letting things organically happen with the person who you're actually equally yoked with or aligned with. Because I feel like Brittany is just so concerned about fulfilling this dream, or like this, I don't know, like this quote or whatever that she has about being married and like getting this husband, and you know, living this like story out that she's been writing for years. And it's like, there's nothing wrong with you longing to have that kind of future, like build with somebody, but it gets to a point, you know what I mean, where it's like you're just willing to do it with whoever, like whoever's available, or whoever says they're available. Like, it's ridiculous. Like, I'm sorry, and nothing about Devontae even gives that he's available for this stuff, like not physically and also emotionally. Like, he does not want that with you. He does not want that with you. Like, I'm so sorry. Everything that he's done this season has pointed to him not wanting you. And she just doesn't get it. She does not get it. And I feel like delusion to that level and being that blind as a woman is dangerous. It's dangerous, bro. That is how you end up in a whatless marriage where the man is just pulling the wool over your eyes, bringing all sorts of nonsense into your household. And you're just sitting here thinking, how the hell did I even end up with this guy? It's because you didn't listen, you didn't hear, you didn't use your ears when it actually mattered. And it's like, even after that argument that they had to, well, I don't even want to call it an argument, because again, Brittany was bullied into being quiet. But you don't have any room in this relationship to voice your concerns. Like, you know that, and that's why you've given up on even bringing this shit up, because when you did, he basically made it a huge headache for you, and was strong arming you into saying, okay, it's fine, you're not going to give that to me, it's okay, we can still go forward. He's basically conditioned you to accept nothing. And then after the conversation as well, they were like high-fiving. They literally high-fived. Not even a hug, kiss, nothing. Like, this is, bro, this is not even a acquaintanceship.
Don't laugh. You can't laugh.
This is not even an acquaintanceship. Like, I have male acquaintances who would treat me better than this. And this is supposed to be your fiance. I'm like, bro, this isn't okay. This is not okay for my mental health. This isn't okay. Okay, so let's finally talk about Brie and Connor again, because Brie and Connor get home, like, was it a few days later? I don't even remember. They're in their apartment, Sha, and they're having a conversation, and Brie basically just tells Connor how she just doesn't think that they're ready for marriage, or she's not ready for marriage, and she basically just says the quiet part out loud that she doesn't like Connor. Like, Brie basically just says in this conversation that she wants some sort of red pilled alpha guy. Like, she's literally talking about how she's used to a guy being the alpha, or like wanting to be the dominant one or whatever. And she just kind of feels like Connor is just the complete opposite of that. And I just thought it was very, and Connor throughout that whole conversation, like, I'm not even gonna lie, the low self-esteem was wild. Like, it was actually wild. Like, Connor, please pick up your self-esteem from the floor. Please. It's catching dust. This guy was basically like, yeah, I still want to marry you. Like, I would have said yes at the aisle. And then Brie asked him, no, he asked Brie, do you see like us getting married in the future? And her response to that was, I hope. I hope. And then Connor's just there, like, in the talking head interview, or whatever, and he's crying. And it's just like, I'm just there, like, feeling like this is humiliating. Like, Brie has humiliated this guy, but he also kind of subjected himself to it, because nothing about her behavior or her demeanor, unless there was stuff off camera that she did, I don't know, I really doubted that, because she was giving nothing when she was on camera, but nothing about the situation gave that she took anything seriously. She was constantly negging you. She never really spoke about how she actually feels about you, did nothing to really make you feel secure, and then all of a sudden sprung on you like 2 days before the weddings. Yeah, I'm not doing this. Yeah, I'm not doing this. And then you asked her, okay, do you see us doing it in the future though? Because I really feel like you're my person. I want to marry you. She's like, well, I hope so. I feel like you could see it gradually, where like she just gave less and less, because she was growing like resentment towards this guy, because he is just so far from what kind of guy she wants to date. And he, he was just head up in the clouds, very happy-go-lucky. He wasn't picking up on the cues whatsoever. And then she was just trying to say, kind of the conversation almost gave, it's not you, it's me, and that you deserve better me than me, and da da da. Like, all these things that somebody says when they just actually don't like you, or that, or they just cannot step up, like, or they can't be bothered to like do what it actually takes to be in a relationship with you. Connor, I just feel like yeah, you've got some problems. I just feel like Connor in general, he was moving like this was like his last hope at marriage. I don't know what his dating experiences have been like. Maybe they've been really bad, but like the way he was moving, like, it was very much giving lack mindset, scarcity mindset. Like, Brie is the last woman on earth that you're eligible to get married to. I just thought it was very weird. Like, what is so magnificent about this connection that you feel the need to like basically overlook every single red flag in order to proceed? Like, it was just very weird. It just felt like a humiliation ritual. And he was also talking about how he wants to prove to Brie this relationship is worth it or whatever. And I'm just like, do you hear yourself? Do you hear yourself speaking right now? You're talking about proving to somebody that you're worth it. It's over. Like, my baby say over. Like, it's over. So now let's get to the wedding. So basically, Emma is sitting, getting her makeup and hair done. And she's basically talking to her family about why she feels like Mike is the right person for her, and why she made this decision to get engaged to him. And I thought that the reason why she said Mike felt like her person was kind of sad to me. The reason why I think it's sad is because she was essentially saying that Mike is like the first person who has made her feel like seen. And if you've been watching the season throughout, or you've been watching my reviews, we know that Emma has some self-esteem issues. She has issues with her identity, kind of is going through an identity crisis. Her family has not really made her feel seen or heard, especially in like her internal struggles. Like she just has a lot of internal struggles that I feel like no one in her life has really understood or took the time to understand. And I feel like this situation that she has with Mike almost gives, oh, this is the first person who has like been ready to sit down and listen to this, and I'm just like falling in love. And it's just kind of confusing me because when I was actually watching the season again, yes, we can blame it on editing, but I'm just speaking based upon the footage that we saw. I was very confused as to why Emma felt so enthralled by this relationship that she had with Mike, because quite frankly, it gave her nothing better. It like there was just not much substance here. But once she said that at the weddings, I was like, okay, this makes sense now. This like almost kind of this trauma attachment that she has, where it's like this is the first person who's held space for my feelings, and now it just makes me feel like I need to attach myself to this individual, which is just strange because, well, it's not strange because it makes sense considering her circumstances, but you guys aren't aligned. Like, you're not aligned. You're not aligned. Just because someone is ready to sit down and listen to you speak about your struggles does not mean that this person can be a life partner. Any person who's a decent human being or a decent individual will be able to do that. So, respectfully, no. Like, but she ends up saying yes at the aisle anyways, which I wasn't shocked by it. I feel like she kind of sees him as like some sort of savior. I don't know, like he's gonna lead her to some sort of like mental salvation. I don't know. But Mike ends up saying no, wasn't shocked, and I'm glad that he said no because I just don't, there was no longevity in that relationship, and I don't see them spinning the block either. Like, those two had no business being together. He needs to go back to his Oimbos. Like, I also thought Mike's vows were kind of weird too. It's like, he basically said, I need to know that you're ready to have kids with me or you're ready to start a family with me. And I just thought that's a weird thing to bring up in your vows at the altar. Like, it kind of gave ultimatum too, where it's just like, are you going to tell me right now here on this altar that you're ready for kids? Because if you're not, then I'm not getting married to you. And I was just like, so is that the only thing that you're interested in her for? This whole kids thing. Can you give me my soccer team? Can you give me my baseball team? Next, let's talk about, again, the other weddings I don't want to speak about because everyone else, they didn't make it or they said no. Christine and Vic were the only people who got married. Amber and Jordan got married, and I want to speak about that because I thought Jordan saying yes, the way he said yes was kind of weird. Like, I was honestly confused. Me and my sister were watching it and we were shocked that his answer was a yes, because it was like a long-winded thing, like almost like he was gonna say no, but then he was like, so I'm gonna say a yes, or that's a yes. And I was like, why not just say I do? But he was like really nervous, like kind of shitting bricks before they got to the altar. And I was just kind of like, I'm not really sure. So let's just see where it goes. Like, I think I'm gonna wait to see until the reunion. Obviously, when I watch the reunion today, we'll see. But I have a feeling that they are not going to be together. I just don't, Jordan just doesn't seem confident about his decision. And I feel like he kind of feels guilty if he says no, which, I don't even know. And then let's get into Brittany and Devontae, because basically they have a conversation. Was it the day of the weddings? They were in their place, their apartment, whatever, and they basically sit down on the couch. And Devontae basically just tells Brittany, yeah, I just don't think like I'm at a point where walking down the altar makes sense, or doing the wedding makes sense. Like, I'm just not ready. Like, I'm not there. And who is even shocked? Honestly, Brittany, like, congratulations, your humiliation ritual is complete because you've just successfully wasted your time. Like, I just don't understand. She was really like pushing that this is going to work, this is going to work. Like, this delusion is just going to carry her to glory or something. Like, it was so weird to watch. I was like, wow, I've never seen this level of delusion on this show before. It like was really baffling, very, very baffling. This man in the exit interview that he was doing too, he called her his shadow. Like, literally, he was like, oh, there'll be times where I would go to like the closet or whatever, my bedroom, to go and change my shirt, and then Brittany would come and follow and be like, oh, where'd you go, or da da da, like almost like she was attached to the hip, like forcing this intimacy and closeness and connection between them. And I'm just like, This is so embarrassing for you, Brittany. Like, seriously, Brittany, this is so embarrassing. He's telling the entire world that you're an idiot. Like, bro. I can't. I actually cannot. It felt, the secondhand embarrassment that I felt while watching it was so strong. I'm like, wow, this man, this dud is clearing you in this exit interview. You know it's bad when I'm agreeing with Devontae. I don't know if I mentioned this before in one of my other reviews, but Brittany had actually pre-bought her dress, and I'm not sure if she pre-bought a ring too, but she pre-bought her wedding dress because she was like, oh, I'm so certain that I'm going to get married. And Devontae found this out, and he was like, damn, she pre-bought the dress. Would she have gotten married even if it wasn't me? And he clocked. He clocked when he said that, I'm so sorry, because she would have. She would have married whoever, because for her it is just about the title and the status of being married, of being a wife. You do not care about alignment, about being equally yoked with this person. You don't care. You just want to be a wife, and that is ridiculous. Like, I'm so sorry. At that point, you might as well just put up a flipping Craigslist. Is that the thing that they have in America? A Craigslist, eBay ad, whatever. Put up some sort of ad saying, hey, looking for a husband, whatever requirements that you need and the payment. At this point, you might as well just do that, because you are willing to hire whoever for that role. You don't even care. There's job recruitment processes have more discernment than you do. They have more standards than you do. Is that not shameful? You don't feel shame? In this conversation too, like after Devontae had left, you've got Brittany talking in the exit interview, talking about how, yeah, I know we're gonna get married. Like, I just know that this is my person. I know that he's gonna be my husband. I know, I know, I know. No, you don't know. You don't know.
Don't laugh. You can't laugh.
It's, I don't know what it is that he has done, what magic, what he said to this woman behind closed doors, that she is so incredibly delusional. It's actually scary to watch. I don't know. I'm hoping at the reunion she has woken up from her psychosis, because this is actually concerning. Like, I don't know what judge is going on here. This is like some serious type of incantations that has been done on this lady, because what are you saying? But anyways, I want to talk about Ashley and Alex, because they get to the altar, but Ashley decides to stop Alex and be like, I'm going to stop you. I'm going to go first. And she basically goes on a long tangent, basically saying that she doesn't feel like he's truthful, like that he's honest, and she calls his integrity into question, and she just feels like he's not her man, like he's not the man for her. And honestly, Ashley low-key ate that. Like, that's the one thing. Ashley, I can never give you that 10 because I don't like you at all. But I will give sixes where sixes are due. I'll give sixes where sixes are due, because you ate that one thing. Like, I'm sorry, finally, it's good to hear somebody tell Alex who he is, because he has an enabling ass boy mom mother who's like, oh, how I can't believe she'll call my son's integrity into question. Your son is a dad and you need to know that. His friends, everyone too. He's just living like off of this like extreme delusion. Nobody has told him who he is. He's surrounded by a bunch of yes men. Like, it's actually insane. So I was actually glad that she finally picked up her brain and was like, this guy is just not it, like, at all. Like, you are a fraud. And I'm glad that somebody at least told him that once. But he was like so shocked about what she said. Like, she low-key emptied the clip. Like, she emptied the clip, and it felt like she was holding that in all season. Like, she was really holding that ish in, because I was really wondering why she was so passive the whole season, why she couldn't be bothered to like express any further concern about this guy, because it's just like, you've been catching him in so many lies. Like, why is this not a problem for you? But at the end, at the altar, she finally releases it. 1, 2, 3, release him. Like, so I was glad, because I thought that honestly she was just going through at this whole thing being like, I don't know, head up in the clouds, like she just wasn't concerned about anything. But thankfully she wasn't. She said no. But yeah, like, Alex's mum was just sitting there like, oh, I can't believe she would say this about my son. Like, such a typical boy mum. Like, bro, when I tell you, half of this world, like half of the male population, wouldn't be such bad people if they didn't have such enabling ass mothers and these flipping boy mums. I'm telling you, these lot and their fathers or lack thereof are the reason why they turn out like this. Because again, Alex, didn't have any sort of male figure in his life who, you know, told him what it looks like to actually be masculine and not like weaponize that. And then also has a mother who just enables him. It's like, oh, well, he's my son. He's just been through so much. Like, your son is a liar and a manipulator. Like, I'm so sorry. Your Shayla is not who you think he is. And I just hate that whole behavior that some like mothers, especially boy moms, have, where they're just like, it's no way that my son can be this horrible person because he came out of my body. I gave birth to him. So there's no way that he could be a bad person. He came from me, which is just ridiculous because I'm sorry. Do you know how many other mothers have that same mentality? And yet, look at their sons. Their sons are out here cheating, lying, becoming criminals, murderers, rapists. Like, I'm sure their mothers also thought, oh, mine isn't like that. There's no way that he would ever be like that. Can we please stop with this? Like, enough. Enough. That's the end of the review, guys. I hope you lot enjoyed this video. I'm gonna be watching the reunion hopefully tonight or Friday at least, or Thursday, I'm not sure. One of the days before the weekend, right? But anyways, hopefully the reunion review will be out on Monday or Wednesday next week. And yeah, then we'll be back to regular scheduled programming. I've got another video cooked up, so hopefully you lot are sat and ready for that. It will be a TV show review. Can you guess in the comments? Hope you enjoyed. Like the video if you did. If you're new to my channel, or make sure that you subscribe, turn on the post notification bell so that you don't miss the post from me. And I will see you lot next time for my next video. Bye!